Pros and cons of having locks. I'm just gonna get right into this. Pros: easy to maintain. Out of all the hairstyles I've ever had, the permed hair, twist outs, braid outs, the mini afro, the actual afro, all of that, these so far are the easiest. I don't have to do anything to it. Basically, I just get up in the morning, take a shower, don't need a shower cap, and I just let the water run through my hair, and it's that easy. That's it. I just kind of dry it off, shake them dreads, which is kind of fun, which is my next pro, but I'll get to that later. It's so easy. I don't have to think much about it, and I just kind of let it do its thing and I let it grow, and it's just a lot less stress. I don't have to think about twisting it and braiding it the previous night and then taking it out and then having to ruffle it and make it work, and hopefully it turns out okay, and then the next day and then it goes flat and I have to do it all over again. I don't have to spend hours doing my hair, detangling or flat ironing or all that stuff that goes along with natural hair, which is not the worst thing ever, but it's really nice to not have to do so much. It's super easy and I'm loving it. Pro number 2 is that I get to shake my dreads. Yeah, they're really stiff and like kind of dry right now, but when it's wet, I can just move them around, and I like to see growth. And when I had my afro, you could see growth, but shrinkage is real. Shrinkage, okay, so it's, again, not the worst thing ever, but it's nice to see growth instead of having to like stretch it out to see growth, or having to, again, do a twist out or a braid out to see your actual length. This one, I mean, you can see growth because they're in locks, so eventually they get longer or they get fuller, they get more mature, you can see growth. And it's nice to see that again. Number 3, it can be a spiritual journey. You start out having these little baby dreads, and as life goes along and as your life continues on, so do your dreads, and you see growth. And just like when you live your life, and I'm pretty sure you're growing, or hopefully you are growing in some kind of way, your locks are right there with you. So when they start out as baby dreads, and a year, 2 years, 3 years later, and they're long and they're full and they've changed so much, it's nice to look back on that. And if anything, locks definitely teach you patience. I'm going through that right now. These are really, they're baby dreads. I mean, they're not even fully mature yet. They have a mind of their own, and in my mind I have an idea of what I want it to be, and I know you can't do that. I know you can't just, I want my hair to look this way, and if it doesn't look this way, I'm not gonna be happy. It's not like that. I kind of already know how they're gonna look based on how they are now, but I want them to be a certain length, and I'm imagining how it's gonna look and what I'm gonna do with it. It takes time to lock, it takes time to have length, and it takes time to become mature, just like in life. So I understand how it can be spiritual. And if you are Rastafarian, I haven't studied it, I don't really know it, I'm not a Rasta, but if you are, you understand the spiritual journey with it. They were true to themselves and they let their locks be how they're gonna be, and it's good for the soul. It's spiritual. So I guess that's on to number 4. Number 4. Locks, just like any other kind of natural hair, it's a process that lets you enjoy being who you are, being how your hair grows, being just you, accepting yourself for how you are, and this is how your hair looks, and you're just letting it lock together, and it's just part of being yourself as a whole, and it's really refreshing and it feels really good, and I love that about having locks. Yeah, you get some weird looks, but sometimes, well, not from a lot of people, but sometimes you get some weird looks, but this is how my hair is. I mean, that's just how it is naturally. Locks are really fun and unique and really versatile. You can do a lot of different styles with it, especially if you twist them. You can do pretty much the same things you would do with straight hair, but it has more texture, it has more life, and it's fun. Especially if you have freeform dreads, they are so unique. They form on their own without anyone touching them, and they can become anything they want to be, which is uniqueness, and it makes you stand out, and I feel like as one person in this entire world full of billions of people, it's just kind of nice to know that your hair is just a little fingerprint. It's its own entity, and it's a cool thing. I think I went really deep on that, but locks in general are really fun. All right, and for the cons, okay, I think there's like two that I could really think of. Number one being, not everyone likes dreads. Okay, and to start, it doesn't matter what other people think. I get that. If you're worried about how people see you, dreads are definitely not liked by all. Even the word dread, which I still use sometimes, the word dreadlock was referred to people who didn't like dreads. They thought they were dreadful. And so usually you should say locks. Some people just don't like the look of them. They think they're nappy or that you're not taking care of them, and they're kind of wild and crazy, especially if you have freeform. You're gonna get a lot of looks, and a lot of people are gonna look at you funny. The good news is that this is all based on other people. If you choose to have dreads and you're enjoying it, that's really all that matters. If you're gonna have locks, you have to be committed, and you have to be sure of yourself that I can walk outside and love how I look, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And the second one I can think of, which is a little bit more realistic, that can truly affect you, is the job situation. So far, I haven't gotten any kind of trouble at work for having my hair like this. Luckily, I work at a place where tattoos and hair color, hairstyle, piercings don't really matter. But I understand in a lot of professional environments, sometimes your hair is a big deal. For people who twist their hair, it might be easier to get a job because you can put it back, or you can braid it, or you can make it look more kempt. But if you have semi-freeform or freeform, some people might have a hard time accepting that in the workplace. And I think it depends on the job that you have. Again, I don't have a kind of corporate, really professional, I'm not on the news or anything, so it doesn't affect me, but I can see it affecting someone's job if a lot of the majority of your bosses or coworkers don't understand what you're doing, or they don't appreciate locks. Like in the previous con, some people don't accept it. Other than that, mostly pros. In fact, majority pros. So far, this is one of my favorite hairstyles I've ever had. Again, I've had the permed hair, I had the braid outs I used to do every day, then I cut all my hair off, and then I had the teeny weeny afro, I had the afro, I've had braids. These definitely take the least amount of time overall, and they're the most fun, and I feel just free, and I feel like an individual. I think they're absolutely beautiful. I think locks in general are so beautiful, and when they become mature, it's just a journey, and I'm so for it. So definitely, I'd recommend locks. If you're thinking about them, definitely do your research. Look at the different ways to go about it, how to take care of them, what works best for you. But mostly across the board, locks are a great thing. All right, so like, comment, talk to me about your journey. Did you have any troubles at work with your hair? Let's talk about it. And thanks for watching.